Welcome back to another edition of Recruiting Thursday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Jack Ridenour here with you, and today I'm joined by current Hempfield softball player and recent Georgetown softball commit, Maggie Howard. Maggie, great to have you join us today on Recruiting Thursday. First off, big congratulations to you on a huge milestone in your softball career. How does it feel to finally make this decision?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's definitely a big relief making this decision. I've been in this process, I feel like what feels like forever, but it wasn't too long, but it definitely is a relief finally making this decision. So, yeah.
Well, what led you to continuing your career at Georgetown? I mean, a prestigious school, not only athletically, but also academically. So what led you to wanting to continue your career there?
Yeah, so the biggest factor in my decision was definitely academics. Ever since I've been like researching colleges and starting to think about where I want to go, academics was definitely the number one thing I was always considering. So just doing research and kind of just exploring some options. I went to a Georgetown camp last summer and visited campus. I really liked it. So when I got an offer, is definitely something I was happy about and knew that it was good academically. When I went on my visit, I really just felt like I could see myself living in DC, and I really liked campus. So everything just really lined up, and definitely was a good fit for me.
Now, I know that you have a little bit of time to decide this, but do you know what you're going to major in there when you go there?
So right now, I'm thinking about doing international business. They have a really good program for it, and definitely being in DC, has a lot of connections there. So that's the plan right now. I guess we'll see. Like not 100% on that, but that's the plan right now.
That's very cool. Well, yeah, no question. I mean, Georgetown's got one of the best business schools, medical
Mhm.
schools. The list goes on and on and on. But what were some other schools that were maybe in the mix or were on your radar that you were kind of teeter-tottering back and forth between?
Yeah, so Holy Cross was a big one that I considered. I went on a visit there, and the coach was great. I really liked her. The campus was really nice, also a really good academic school. It was a little far though. I didn't know if I felt that comfortable being that far from home. So
Yeah, I mean Georgetown, in the nation's capital, not too far. 4 hour
yeah,
drive. 3.5 if you're really feeling,
yeah.
a very courageous driving wise. But I think that's great that you were able to account for all those different things and all those different aspects of where you want to continue your college career. Now, I'm sure with again it being your junior year, you still had another year to decide. So I'm curious, what led you to wanting to get this decision over with and just kind of putting it behind you and being able to focus on the rest of your softball career?
Um, I just felt as if Georgetown was really a perfect fit for me. Honestly, I've been looking into it since I was probably a freshman in high school. So it's been on my radar for a while. So I felt like I knew everything I needed to know to make this decision, and the opportunity was there, and I just felt very confident taking that opportunity.
Well, good on you for taking advantage and getting ahead of that also as a freshman. I mean, a lot of high school students, I would say, kind of wait until their junior or even their senior year to finally maybe even not even make the decision, but just go through that process. So the fact that you were able
Mhm.
to start that early on, it gives you a little bit of a head start. But I want to just start in the very beginning in your softball career. What led you to wanting to pick up and play softball, and who got you interested in the sport?
It was definitely my parents that got me interested in the sport, as well as my friends. A lot of my friends, obviously, I started in T-ball, but a lot of my friends were playing T-ball, and then they moved up to like coach pitch softball at the recreational level. So definitely influenced by my friends and family, kind of just to continue that. And after rec, I just kind of kept like leveling up from that. I tried out for a travel team, played on a travel team, and kind of just progressed from there.
So when did the idea of playing college softball creep in your mind? Was that freshman year or was that maybe even a little bit before that?
It was probably freshman year. So when I first started researching colleges, it was honestly just to go to school. It wasn't really on my mind. My freshman year was kind of in the midst of COVID. So I was kind of just had a lot of free time, did some research of colleges. And then once I started playing travel ball for my current coach, Coach Rochelle Hall, with Team PA, she definitely was very informative to the entire team, and she has a lot of connections, and she really was good at like getting it in our heads like what this kind of would look like, and definitely made it seem like a possible opportunity for me. So I would say once I started playing for her, that's when like the idea was really like I want to do this.
Yeah, the travel softball circuit, and really just travel sports in general, is just such an awesome avenue for athletes being able to get eyes on them for college and being able to be recruited and whatnot. But I'm sure that in your long softball career, there's a lot of things that you've loved about the sport. But what is something specifically about softball that you just continue to find yourself coming back, wanting more about the sport?
That's a good question. I need to think about it. So first off, I would definitely say I like the team aspect. I don't know, just something about being with like 12 or more other girls at the same time, just having them to lift me up, and we're all very supportive of each other. That's definitely like a great aspect for me, just having that support. Seeing them succeed, like knowing they want me to succeed, I think that's really a good motivator in the sport. And just I like the pace of softball a lot. Just like something about it is very therapeutic to me. Just like being able to go practice on my own and then come with a team, practice with them. Just seeing the progress, I think, is really big thing that I like about softball.
Yeah, I mean, being able to see kind of that, like you said, the progression and see yourself improve over the years and over time. That's what I think is so fun. You get to look back at where you started and see where you've come along and kind of been able to grow as a player. But yeah, I know you play for a very historic softball program at Hempfield, like really, really
Yeah.
historic, including one of the most historic coaches really ever in softball in the WPIAL in Bob Kalp. I know that you had him as your coach for your freshman year, and I would love to hear just what it was like to be around somebody like Bob Kalp, who's not only been so successful in softball, but also just knows so much about the sport. How much did you learn from him that season?
So that was the COVID year, as I discussed before. So it was definitely kind of restricted. We had to wear masks a lot, I know, and just everything I feel like was scaled down a little bit. But it was definitely an experience playing for him because just knowing his reputation and stuff, it was really great. My freshman year, my role was a pinch runner. So it was kind of like nice to just see like how he runs practices, how everything is just laid out so much. One thing I definitely noticed playing under him was the amount of time we spent like going over plays and all the plays he had made up. I thought that was definitely like a big part that was like cool to see and cool to like finally learn about, like knowing this program has been around and like successful for a really long time. It was really great to see like how everything comes together there and how everything has worked out so well.
Yeah, you get to kind of see the method behind the madness, if you will, and
Exactly, yeah.
you get to see how it all kind of comes together. And your current coach now, Tina Madison, I know that she just recently took over as a head coach, but she also a former player at Hempfield, played Division I softball at Penn State, so very similar characteristics to yourself. And I would love to hear just what kind of advice she has shared with you during this collegiate process, but also now that you've made this commitment and that you are for sure playing at the collegiate level.
Um, so she's just been very supportive. She is definitely pushes all of us. We're just got wrapped up with softball conditionings and stuff before the season, and she just pushes us every single time to be our best. She expects 100% from us every time, and honestly, I just think that has really improved like how I practice and like my mentality going into every like conditioning practice, workout, whatever it might be. She's definitely just really good at like staying on top of things and making sure what we need to do gets done. So it definitely has improved my work ethic, I think, and just my overall like work mentality.
Well, I know that you'll be seeing a lot of Coach Madison more than you just saw her with conditioning because the season starts, like you were mentioning to me off air, in about a week. So that's a very
Yes,
quick turnaround. How excited are
definitely.
you to get back out on the field?
I am really excited. So last year with the new coach, I didn't know exactly like what was going to like go on. Obviously, I had my freshman year. That was the kind of the COVID year. So like transitioning into my sophomore year, I was kind of unsure like what exactly was going to happen and stuff. But last year was such a fantastic time, just playing and having team experiences, just bonding all together. Everything was just so great last year. And now that I know what I'm going into this year, and after having a successful season last year, I'm definitely really excited to get back out there.
Well, what are some expectations that you've kind of set out for yourself before the season starts? And then also, what are some expectations that you and your teammates have kind of come together and discussed and feel that you guys can really achieve this year?
So for myself, I would definitely say just keeping a positive mentality is definitely my biggest thing this season because I put in the time and I put in the work. and we're going to start having like 6 days of practice a week. So I know like the practice and the work aspect is there, but I really just need to stay confident in my abilities and just let it play out. Just stay true to myself, basically. And from a team perspective, I would say that we definitely have high expectations this year. We've had a lot of girls show up to conditionings and stuff from, I think they started in early January. So everybody's out here, everybody's working hard. So we're definitely putting in a lot of work and stuff. So I'm just excited to see how that turns out. And I think we're all excited to see how that turns out.
Well, the good thing is that you guys don't want to be peaking too early on in the year. So if you're not quite where you all expect to be, you guys have plenty season ahead of you. I mean, you have, again, not even, I would say, another 2 months until things really, really start ramping up into April. So you guys have plenty of time to figure out for sure. But Maggie, it's been great to have you join us today on Recruiting Thursday and hear a little bit about your career. Before we let you run, just want to hear from you. What are you most excited for? I know that you still have another 2 years really of high school before you go to college, but I'm sure you've already thought about it. What are you most excited for when you head off to college?
I'm most excited about just getting a great education at Georgetown University. Excuse me. And also just playing the game I love at the highest level there is. Really just getting to travel. I know there's like Big East schools all around the country, basically. So I'm really excited about just traveling and making new friends, bonding with the team, and playing the sport I love at a really high level.
Well, we're definitely very excited to see you guys hit the field this year and also moving forward. Again, thanks so much for stopping by, Maggie, and good luck this season with the Spartans.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's Hempfield's Maggie Howard. Thanks again for watching another fantastic edition this week of Recruiting Thursday right here and only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.